I always tell people if they look crazy, 9 times out of 10 they are. Well, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. If they look like a creep, 9 times out of 10 they probably are. In this case, 10 out of 10, because this dude right here is a certified creeper. So this individual's name is Bradford Ferrick, and he is a resident doctor out of Massachusetts who has been arrested for the possession and videos and images of CP. For those of you who understand it in the chat, type it for those who do not. And get this, before I even get into the article, the subheading says approximately 80 devices seized. It's in big, bold, blue lettering. That's before I even get into the first word of the article itself. A resident doctor in Western Massachusetts was arrested this morning for allegedly possessing CP. Bradford Ferrick, age 32, of Winchester, Massachusetts and Amherst, Massachusetts, was charged with 1 count of possession of CP. Ferrick will make an initial appearance in federal court in Boston at 11:45 a.m. today, which was on Tuesday, because this is being recorded on the 16th and this article was posted on the 14th. At 11:45 a.m. today via remote proceeding. At the time of his arrest today, Ferrick was on home confinement restrictions for pending related state charges. According to the charging documents, Ferrick lived in Syracuse, New York between approximately 2018 and 2022. While he attended State University of New York, Upstate Medical University. After graduating from SUNY, Ferrick began a medical residency in July 2022, focused on family medicine with Bay State Franklin Family Medicine, including rotations at facilities in at least Greenfield, Deerfield, and Springfield, Massachusetts. It is alleged that during a search of Ferrick's Winchester's, Massachusetts residence on February 13, 2023, approximately 61 devices, including external hard drives, computers, cell phones, hidden camera systems, and SD cards, which state investigators allege contain thousands of images and videos of suspected CP, were seized. Ferrick was arrested by state authorities and released on home confinement after posting bail in Woburn District Court on February 17th. First off, he doesn't need to be at home. He needs to be in a cell. Yeah, that's great that they seized all his electronic devices, as we know, but what's to stop him from getting something else from someone who he trusts will get it to him? On February 17, 2023, a second search of Ferrick's residence in Winchester, Massachusetts resulted in the recovery of 11 additional devices by state investigators. What did I just say? I said, what's to stop him from getting more stuff? And they found 11 additional stuff. This was after they let him be in home confinement. A preliminary review of some of the devices seized allegedly revealed images and videos depicting CP of victims who appeared to be between the ages of 6 and 11 years old. This sick bastard. During a search on a separate residence Ferrick was renting in Amherst, Massachusetts on February 21st, 2023, 8 additional devices, including multiple hidden camera devices and USB storage devices, were seized. It is alleged that one of the hidden camera devices, which was designed to be worn as a bracelet, was found to contain at least 2 surreptitiously recorded videos of Ferrick administering medical exams. It is alleged that 2 minors, who investigators believe to be patients, could be heard and at times partially seen in the videos. Forensic review of the devices seized at both residences remains ongoing. I can think of no greater fear as a parent or guardian that potential harm coming to your child. Today we allege that this doctor, who held a position of trust with access to children, maintained child sexual abuse material. The investigation is active and ongoing, said United States Attorney Rachel S. Rollins. Members of the public with questions, concerns, or information pertaining to this doctor are strongly encouraged to contact the FBI via the provided form. As members of law enforcement, the safety of children is our highest priority. Together, in close cooperation with the medical facilities where Dr. Ferrick was employed, we will do all that we can to identify the duration and scope of his alleged offenses and proceed accordingly and expeditiously. Today, the FBI arrested Dr. Bradford Ferrick, a resident doctor with access to children, who now stands accused of extremely troubling behavior, said Joseph R. Bonavolanta, special agent in charge of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Boston Division. This is very much an active investigation, and we urge anyone with information to contact us. Thanks to our close collaboration with our law enforcement partners, we are grateful to have been able to put a stop to Dr. Ferrick's alleged conduct. Members of the public who have information, and that's basically about the form. The charge of possession of CP provides for a sentence of up to 20 years in prison, at least 5 years, and up to a lifetime of supervised release, and a fine of up to $250,000. Sentences are imposed by a federal district court judge based upon the U.S. sentencing guidelines and statutes which govern the determination of a sentence in a criminal case. This case was brought as part of a Project Safe Childhood, a nationwide initiative to combat the growing epidemic of child sexual exploitation and abuse, launched in May 2006 by the Department of Justice, led by the U.S. Attorney's Offices and DOJ's Child Exploitation and Obscenity Section. Project Safe Childhood marshals federal, state, and local resources to locate, apprehend, and prosecute individuals who exploit children, as well as identify and rescue victims. It says the details contained in the charging documents are allegations. The defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. Well, they have all that stuff, so I don't know how innocent he actually can claim to be. They already seized, they said 80 devices between 2 different residences he lived at. So this guy was being a freak in one place and a freak in another. And I called it. I said, I bet you when they put him on home confinement, they're going to find more stuff. And sure enough, they did, which is why they had to rearrest him and in this time keep his ass locked up. It's crazy too. You know what I find to be interesting is that a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot of doctors, but way too many doctors who have access to people like that, they need to do some thorough background checks on them. But see, what they'll do is they will keep their image as squeaky clean as they possibly can before they get into these certain positions, and then that's when their real identity reveals itself. But that's crazy right there. This guy is a certified creep, Dr. Creep. I think that's the best way to actually label him. Hopefully he won't be, well, the way it's looking, I highly doubt he'll be a doctor anymore. That's the way that it should be. But man, this guy is absolutely insane. And it said that 2 of his patients, well, 2 of the people that he was doing this to were his patients, minors, children under the age of 17. And they probably were under the age of 13, quite honestly. Yeah, but hopefully, you know, wherever it is that he's going, he will be dealt with accordingly. Where he's going, he ain't going to have no access to these devices, and rightfully so.